About 8 months ago, in 2012, I think it was probably about September of 2012, I saw the city coming out, and they said that they were going to, well, I guess they were going to pave the roads. It looked like they were going to pave the roads, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, this was in about September of last year, and they came, the people from the city came, and they put down all this gravel all over the roads, and they put a sealer on top of that a little bit, um, and then they left. The city left, and they didn't come back, for a long time. So I mean, I used to live at another house that was kind of in an elderly part. There was a lot of elderly people there that lived there, and so they would pave the streets almost every single year. And so the pavement, the streets would be, once they got done paving, it would probably take a couple days, to pave the old streets, the house, paved the streets of the old house that I used to live at, and the pavement would be all blackened and fresh and new, and it was smooth, and so it was nice. I think they probably did that because of the elderly. There were so many elderly people there that lived there that they wanted to have the pavement as smooth as possible. They didn't want anybody tripping over rocks or gravel or anything like that, um, and hurting themselves, breaking a hip or breaking another bone or whatever. Um, so I was kind of spoiled by that, every year, them paving the roads. I was in a homeowners association, so the it wasn't like the city would come out and they would pave the roads every year. It was more of just the homeowners association. We had to pay dues every single month, and the homeowners association, after a while, would gather up that money, those dues, and they would use those dues to pay for repaving the road. But the city came out about, like I said, about 8 months ago in September of 2012, and they put down all this gravel, and they put some kind of sealer on it a little bit, I think, and then they went away. And so I was like, well, I thought pavement, I thought that you were gonna come out and like seal it, but then put down a fresh layer of pavement, fresh layer of asphalt on top of the street. But so I get, I I was kind of confused, but then maybe the reason why they did that, 8 months ago, why they just put out all that gravel and put some kind of sealing stuff on it a little bit, was because they wanted the people in the neighborhood to drive on it a lot and pack it down and compress it and push all the and break the gravel up a little bit, and things like that. That maybe that's why they waited 8 months, um, to finally finish it up. Finish up the paving. So, and I'm really glad that they paved the road, because whenever I took the doggies for a walk, there was a couple times that my wheelchair would kind of snag up on something or catch on something, and I would be jerked to a stop. And there was a couple times where I almost fell out of my chair. There was one time when I was actually pulled out of my chair, um, because there was just so much gravel, and there was so many rocks, and there was holes and cracks in the asphalt in the street, and things. And so sometimes my wheelchair would get caught up on those things, on those cracks and divisions and things like that. And that made it kind of, it reduced the amount of pleasantness that I associate with walking the dogs. Although our dogs do bark a lot, so that kind of takes away a little bit of the stress relieving of walking them, but still, it's it's they need the exercise, and they it's a good thing all in all. It really is to take the doggies for a walk. So I'm kind of excited uh, because now I got this smooth. Now we got have this smooth uh, asphalt that's laid down. So I'm kind of excited to take the doggies for a walk. We still, as you saw there, the asphalt still needs to be a fresh layer of asphalt still needs to be laid on the ends. Well, actually, on our street. You know, this is just a cul-de-sac, the cul-de-sac of our neighborhood. We just have the asphalt was just laid down on the cul-de-sac in our in our neighborhood. It was actually the asphalt was laid down on our cul-de-sac, and it was laid down on the cul-de-sac a little bit west of us. And I think they're just kind of moving their way slowly. The city is just kind of moving their way slowly and getting all those cul-de-sacs, laying the asphalt in all those cul-de-sacs. And then after that, then I think the city is going to lay the asphalt, the fresh layer of asphalt along the main street. And that'll be good, because then, like I said, then it'll be somewhat smooth. The street will be somewhat smooth, and then I don't have to worry so much about, falling out of my wheelchair, or being suddenly jerked, or getting caught in a pothole, or something like that. So that'll be nice not to worry about that whenever whenever we're walking the dogs. I like to walk the dogs in the afternoon whenever the sun is setting. It's usually pretty nice during that time. Usually a pretty nice time of the day during that time, and the cool air starts to come in a little bit, so that's kind of nice. The tough thing about it is that with the summer coming, and a fresh layer of asphalt, black asphalt, it can probably get pretty hot.